Boom, what up, YouTube? It's BigGameCham. You know the name, the most authentic in the game. And today I'm here with
Ethan Hers.
Yes, sir. And today we'll be talking about professional networking. Professional networking one-on-one. And life is not always what you know, but who you know. And in terms of being able to network and connect with others professionally, that's an important skill, because you have resources available to you, people, places, things that can help optimize your career and your professional growth. And so you must know how to network, how to connect, how to, just reach out to people and, make the most out of, what you have available to you.
Yeah, and that's definitely a big means of networking, because I just want to ask, something for you to think about, how many opportunities have you just missed because you didn't speak up, you didn't know who, or you didn't know who was really the right person to talk to, right? Because networking is really a superpower. You're at Xavier, or you're in college, right? You're surrounded by students, alumni, right? Other people that you can lean on, future doctors, lawyers, engineers, business developers, right? And those are all potential doors. Most people think that networking really starts after graduation, but that's a big mistake. Networking starts now, right? It's about connecting and being in those spaces to where you can lean on other people, other ideas, and just a metric to grow as an individual, But a lot of people think that networking is begging, right? It's the idea of, I go to Xavier, you go to Xavier, so I feel like you should help me. It's not what you can get. It's about how can I connect with you? How can I grow with you? How can I offer you something, right? It's about being able to be a resource for another person. It's not a metric to use someone. It's a metric to be able to bounce ideas off another person, right? Because a network is a group of other people that you're really trying to grow with, right? Because my community, my network isn't just business majors. It's not just science majors. We have people from all over, whether it's engineering, science, technology, right? So it's really about being able to develop and get skills from other people.
Yeah, definitely. Just to add on to what you said, when it comes to networking, when it comes to making connection, I want y'all to understand the idea of mutualism. Mutualism means that both parties benefit from the connection. So I think like you said, it's not always just about what you can get, but what you can give and what y'all can give to one another to help benefit one another. So in any connection, any relationship, any friendship, any partnership, there should be a level of mutualism. Y'all should both be benefiting from the network. So I always think about, not just once again, like Ethan said, not just what you can gain, but what you can give. What can you bring to the table? How can you elevate? How can you bring value?
Yes.
So you always have to have that in your mindset. Mutualism, and knowing that, assets over liabilities is also another thing to keep in mind. An asset is something that brings value, liability takes from. And so, if someone is bringing value to you, you're taking value, but you're not bringing value to the table. That's leeching. That's not mutual benefit. So you want it to be mutualism. And I think one way to do that is to network with like-minded individuals. Surround yourself with people who are just as ambitious, if not more ambitious than you, just as intelligent, if not more intelligent than you, just as purpose-driven, if not more purpose-driven than you. And that way, y'all can both benefit each other if y'all on the same wavelength, the same, mindset, what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel like a great point that you brought up was the idea of assets and liabilities. And to that point, right, you said mutualism. And I feel like a big kind of subset of that is, support, right? Because it's all about really, it goes both ways. It's not just about you benefiting them, but it's also about them benefiting you, right? You have to be able to bring something to the table, whether that's, I have skills in X, Y, and Z, and here's how I can use those to help you further your mission and further your goals. And then it's that's very thoughtful of you, right? Because a lot of people really leave out the fact that they have something to offer to that person as well. And they think it's more so about them being, or the person trying to benefit them, but it's also about you trying to benefit that person as well. And kind of like to your point, you want to be surrounded with people that you're not the only person, you're also inspiring them as well. And to that point, right, networking isn't just about getting access. It's about being inspired. Because once you build your network, you might be thinking what's next? What do I do next? I built my network and I don't know what to do next. But now that you have the ideas and assets and support, right, what are you doing with them? Because you might be thinking like, I have this entire group, but I don't really have spaces to grow that group or grow what I'm already doing. And I want to bring up a quote by the infamous or famous Mahatma Gandhi, right? He said that, right, be the change that you wish to see. Because a lot of people will complain that they don't have, oh yeah, I don't have a community, I don't have the opportunity to network. So build it, right? You really underestimate how much you can bring to the table, right? One person, it only starts with one person, right? It starts with one person to say, hey, I'm fed up with not having this space. I'm fed up with not being able to do what I want to do. I'm going to do it. And a real world example of that, right, will be on our campus, like the Men of Xavier. Right? A lot of people complain, man, there's no space for brothers, there's no space for men to grow as a community. And it only took one man. Only took one person to use that as a metric to support themselves and build a network, right? Because leadership doesn't start with a platform, right? I didn't see leadership in myself, but I had to be consistent. I had to put myself out there. I had to be courageous. I had to be someone who believed in myself, because no one else is going to believe in you as much, or you have to believe in yourself the most, because nobody can insert confidence and belief and courage into yourself. You have to develop that. And how do you develop that, right? It's about consistency and really being able to grow yourself as a leader, because no one's I mean, there's an idea natural born leader, but I don't feel like everyone is a natural born leader, but I feel like everyone has some sort of leadership qualities that they can develop. So
absolutely, and to piggyback on that too, you know, when you touch on support, I think it's important for us to, you know, not be so. I think it's important for us to just really make sure we're supporting one another. And a lot of times, I think when it comes to, you know, entrepreneurship, businesses, ideas, events, organizations, sometimes we can have a crab in the barrel mentality, crab in the bucket mentality. And I want everybody watching to know we can't have that mentality. We have to support one another, especially us as young brothers, us as young individuals, entrepreneurs. We got to support each other. You know what I mean? So don't have the crab in the barrel mentality. It's good to support. You're stronger together. You're stronger as a unit, stronger as a group. So, like Ethan said, be willing to support one another. Yep. That's what it's all about. It's about support. Lean on your support system. And, you know, we brought up that assets versus liabilities analogy, and going along with that, you know, once you're making these connections and you're networking, you don't want to make an initial network and then lose and then forget about or neglect that connection. You want to continue to make deposits into that relationship, into that friendship, into that network, into that support system. So once you reach out to people, once you start making connections, continue to make those deposits, continue to reach out, continue to build that connection with those people that you are networking with. Now make it that much stronger. And
to that point, right, you can't change your campus, your city, your world until you change your habits, right? Until you change your mindset, your actions, right? Crab in the bucket, right? Yeah. If you're surrounded by people who just want to bring you down to the point where they want to see you doing well but not better than them, that's something you need to change. You need to be surrounded with people that, you know, to where it's like, oh yeah, you're doing good, man. I'm trying to get well as well, right? I'm trying to develop myself as well, right? So I can learn a lot from you and what you're doing in your life, and that's inspiration. It's not jealousy, right? I'm inspired by you growing. I'm inspired by you winning. I'm not jealous. Oh man, I feel like when I see my brothers win, when I see people around me winning, I mean, that's great. Man, I know, because I know my blessing is coming soon too.
Yeah, you know,
and you can't put a timer on God's blessing yourself, because what your timing is completely different from what God's timing is, right? Because you might see, oh yeah, I'm going to get this promotion, I'm going to get this blessing in 1 year, but God may see 6 months, 1 day, 10 years, right? So you have to have faith in the unknown, right? And really develop your network, because networking is all about, you know, networking or you have to network so you can grow, and grow so you can lead, and be consistent so that you can create almost like a baseline for what you can do, because a lot of people truly underestimate what they're capable of. And I feel as though, you know, when you really start to achieve on a higher level, right, that baseline is, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, right? You have a higher level of, oh yeah, I can accomplish a lot more, right? So I just want to ask a final question for you to think about, right? How many lives can you impact by just showing up, by just connecting, by putting your foot in the door, by saying, hey, I might not be the most experienced, hey, I might not be the greatest at X, Y, and Z, but I can still make an impact, right? That's my question to you all. Like, how can you put your foot in the door starting today? Because it's not too early to start being a leader, right? I feel like everyone can be a leader. You just have to take that foot. You just have to take that first step.
Man, y'all make sure y'all take that first step. I hope y'all listening. I hope y'all tapped in, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna catch y'all in the next video. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Once again, hope y'all tapped in. Hope y'all gained something from this video. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch y'all in the next video.